This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
Introducing National Streaming Sports, live and on-demand sports talk programming that you can access 24/7. For the premier sports talk experience, tap into our Roku channel. Start your mornings with Mac and Jack covering all the weekend sports action. Then pour a cup and enjoy all the sports you can drink on the Coffee and Sports podcast. At midday, talk sports from east to west on the Coast to Coast podcast. Followed at night by some hot girl talk with Prim and Proper Sports featuring Sonia Pearson. Talk boxing on the Gloved Fist. Yankee fans tune in for Start Spreading the News. And there's more on the College Sports Huddle and Sports Scope with Robert Butler. There are 20 podcasts in all and 70 weekly shows giving us a 3.4-star viewer rating. To find us on Roku TV, search for National Streaming Sports on the Roku search bar. Click on the logo and you're in. National Streaming Sports, live and on-demand sports talk for America.
Hey, and good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Dr. Sem Yankees Show. Of course, we represent the wonderful Yankee site Start Spreading the News. Now, usually I videotape or pre-record, dating myself here, this program. And I did that, but for some reason, the uploads were not working. So I am here live today to talk Yankees baseball with you. Now, I might look a little different today. That is because I'm in a cold beach house. The heat is slowly coming on, but we came down to the beach house to close it up for the winter. And here I am, a little bit chilly, but always bringing everyone the program. So let's make today a great day. How do you make your day great? Well, it's simple. Look for the good. When we look for the good that is around us, it helps us to appreciate the world around us. And when we look and appreciate things, we can't help but have a great day. Next, my dear friends, give kindness, give love. When you give those things, they come back to you in greater amounts than you ever gave. Now, I know some people say there's too much bad, there's nothing good, I can't find any good, I can't make today a great day. Well, if you can't find any good, then create some of your own, and it will be out there. All right, so let's get to the Yankee talk. The Yankee talk, wow, what a week. A week ago when we were here, the Yankees and Juan Soto and the Mets and all of that was still up in the air. And it was roughly a week ago that Juan Soto decided to go to the Mets. Now, if you go to Start Spreading the News, I wrote a long piece about Soto's decision. I'm disappointed. I wanted Juan Soto to remain a Yankee. Because news travels so fast and people have opinions that are said in the immediacy. For many people, the Juan Soto discussion is days old. It's passé. It's in the past. Let's move on. Well, we will, and I will, but I think it's important that I at least touch upon some of this. The Yankees' offer in the end was very, very generous. But it did not compete to the Mets' offer. It seems that the Yankees, when they make these big offers, make them really good, but just bad enough for the person receiving the offer to be able to justifiably say, yeah, it's in the ballpark, but it's really not any good. Or close enough, at least. Yamamoto last year was offered $25 million less by the Yankees. The Yankees made a great offer, $300 million. That's a great offer. but the Dodgers offered more. Period. The Yankees were $25 million short. And I know some people out there argue with me on some of this, and they say, what's $25 million? Who cares? Who cares? I would like anyone out there who doesn't think $25 million is a lot of money to send $25 million to me. I think it's a lot of money. You don't have $25 million? Okay, send me $25,000. I still think that's a lot of money. Wait, you don't have $25,000? Okay, send me $250. Just $250. I think that's a lot of money. Wait, you don't want to do that? Send me $25. You see, when it's our own money, we want to keep it. When it's somebody else's money, we say, oh, he should be satisfied with that. 25 million less. And so let's go to the Juan Soto numbers. The Yankees were offering only $5 million difference between what they offered in the end and what the Mets offered. So now people will say, what's $5 million? But wait, there was a big catch. The Yankees added a year. They added a year. Now, many of you are not at retirement age, but many of you have at least started thinking about your plans for the end of your career, the end of what you're doing professionally. Many of you talk to financial advisors and accountants, and you're trying to get your life in order financially so that you have a plan to go follow as you age. That's all well and proper and appropriate, and everyone should do that. Everyone should have a sense of where they are financially so they can properly plan ahead for their future. Now, would anybody go to a financial advisor and say, hey, do me a favor. Here's something I need you to do. I want you to come up with a financial plan that has me retire not 1 year early, but 1 year later than I would have normally retired at, and pays me a significant number less than had I retired the year earlier. No one would ask for that. It's absurd. And so when I argued that the Yankees' offer was very generous, but they expected Juan Soto to have to work a whole nother year, some people said, well, that's crazy. But I just explained to you why it's not crazy. Working is work. Yeah. Whether you're a school principal, a sanitation worker, a medical doctor, a lawyer, or yes, a baseball player, it's still work. I know we like to think that being a major league player is all fun and games. It's not. It's work. I just want you to think for a moment about the travel. Think about that. The travel that starts in February and hopefully ends in November. On and off of airplanes, in and out of hotels, multiple times a week, every single week for, well, once the season starts. First, you're in Florida, living somewhere other than your home for a couple of months in spring training. And then late March and April, then you have April, May, June, July, August, September, October, and November. 8 months in and out of hotels, on and off of buses, in and out of airplanes. No, it's not fun. I can't imagine that's fun. I imagine that's grueling. I imagine it's a grind. And again, imagine having to do that 1 extra year and still getting less money. No, I'm sorry. That's an easy offer to turn down. All right, next big point. And this will be my last Juan Soto point. We had a discussion yesterday on Start Spreading the News about the fact that no Yankee, not Giancarlo Stanton, not Garrett Cole, not Anthony Volpe, not Aaron Judge, none of the Yankees during Soto's free agency time reached out to him. Now, I knew what was going to happen. I posed the question, and I said, is that a bad thing? And as I suspected, the people that are anti-Soto said, no, he was going to leave anyway. No, he was gone. Who cares? And then I knew some people would say, well, that proves that Juan Soto was a bad teammate if his teammates didn't call him. Okay. None of us know these things. And so often when we make our opinions, we state them as facts. Juan Soto's a bad guy. Juan Soto's just in it for the money. Juan Soto this. No one knows any of that, except if you're Juan Soto. And somehow I don't think Juan Soto is reading Start Spreading the News or watching my podcasts or responding to blog posts or anything like that. He is the only one who really knows where he stands on any of these things. Might he have taken a year less or less money or whatever if Aaron Judge, the captain, had called him? I don't know. Call me crazy. But if I worked somewhere for a year and I was then the best person for whatever job it is who was available in the entire world, and businesses or companies were reaching out to me saying, we're going to pay you untold amounts of money. And one of those businesses or companies was the one I just worked for and helped achieve great status. I got them into the number 2 spot on every list, runners up in the World Series, in other words. And none of my colleagues from that organization or company or team reached out to me. Now, I could look and say that's because of me, and maybe it would be. Or I could say, well, maybe I'm not going to give that company the benefit of the doubt because it seems they don't want me. They can't send a postcard. They can't send a telegram. They can't send an email. They can't send a letter. They can't send a carrier pigeon. They can't pick up the phone. I mean, it's even less argument about like, well, it was tough to find a telephone to call you. That could have been an excuse back in the day. Now everybody's phone is within 30 inches of them, right? It's like right next to them. It's attached to our body. You couldn't send a text. Aaron Judge couldn't have said, hope you choose the Yankees. Give me a call. Now, again, some people are going to attribute that to Juan Soto. Oh, it's all Soto's fault. And maybe, see, this is the difference. I'm not ever speaking on these things definitively because we don't know. Last year, so many people said Yamamoto was going to be a Dodger no matter what. But you don't know that. They state it as if it's absolute fact, like gravity. It's not. The Yankees made a good offer, $25 million less. Yeah, but even if they offered the full amount, he was still going to the Dodgers. How do you know that? And if he was going to the Dodgers anyway, why not make the offer? If he was going to the Dodgers anyway, why not offer him $500 gazillion? He wasn't going to take the Yankee offer, right? So why not make it higher? Well, then the Dodgers would have just matched it and gone higher. Okay, does that hurt the Yankees? Well, it might years down the road because another player might be worth a lot more money and the Yankees would have to pay more money for that player because it just gets silly, right? It gets absurd is what it gets. We don't know what ultimately drove Juan Soto's decision. It might have been the most amount of money. Yes, that could be. Or it might have been that he just never felt welcome with the Yankees. And one way that maybe proves that maybe proves that he didn't feel welcome was the fact that not one of his former teammates called him. Not once. Not a text. No one even said, "Hey, Juan, happy Thanksgiving. I'm thankful that you helped me play in the World Series. I'm thankful that you were on my team." And I know a lot of people want to twist that and say, well, that's because Juan Soto. Maybe it is. But the Yankees also need to accept some responsibility, the players themselves. If you're the captain of a team, you have to put the team over yourself. And you cannot argue. You cannot argue, though some people want to, that an 8-WAR player, okay, 7.9 on Baseball Reference, but an 8-WAR player is not a great player. It's going to be hard, difficult, if not impossible, for the Yankees to make up that kind of offense. And I know some people say, well, he was just an offensive player. He's terrible on defense. That doesn't make him a great player. No. If you have 8-WAR seasons, that made you a great player last year. Absolutely, positively. You don't become an 8-WAR player by not being great. And if we're going to say because he wasn't great on defense, well, then you have to say Ted Williams wasn't great. And that's just absurd. You have to say Reggie Jackson wasn't great. And that's absurd. And countless others. There have been a host of great baseball players who weren't necessarily great on defense. If you play just 10 seasons and have 8-WAR every year, you're going to end up with 80-WAR. That is easily way above any mark that makes someone Hall of Fame worthy. The cutoff is usually 60. Dave Parker just got in with like 40-WAR career. Think about that. 8-WAR seasons, just 10 of them, put you into the upper echelons of the Hall of Fame. You can't tell me an 8-WAR season isn't great. And you can't tell me the Yankees are a better team without Juan Soto, at least in the short term. It's just, you can't. It's an impossible argument. People twist themselves in knots. But one of the ways that you could argue the Yankees will be better without Juan Soto is that supposedly they're going to have more money to spend to round out the team. And good for the Yankees, you know what they did? They're starting to round out the team. They pivoted. They did a great job bouncing back from the Juan Soto disappointment. And they signed immediately, well, within 24 or 48 hours, Max Fried. Now, I'm just going to pull up his stats for me to look at real quickly here. But listen to this winning percentage. 670. He wins 2 out of 3 of every decision he's ever had as a major leaguer. 73 wins and just 36 losses. A lifetime ERA of 3.07. An ERA plus for his career of 140. Now, he didn't have as great of a year last year, 2024. We know that. He was just 11-10. His ERA was a tick higher at 3.25. His ERA plus was a tick lower at 128. But he is a top pitcher. Not young, right? Max Fried, let me just make sure I get this correctly, is 30. He'll be 31 when the season starts. But the Yankees right now shouldn't be looking at who is young. I mean, if there's a young player like Juan Soto and you can get him, absolutely continue to build for the future by bringing greatness in. Vlad Guerrero would fill that same type of definition. But Aaron Judge isn't young, and Garrett Cole isn't young. And whatever Giancarlo Stanton has left, he isn't young. And if DJ LeMahieu is anything left, he isn't young. The window is now. The Yankees have to compete now. You can't be thinking 3-4 years down the road, because 3-4 years down the road, it's too late. Those older players I just mentioned will be too old. So you need to get great players now. And what the Yankees did by getting Max Fried was make their rotation that much better. A rotation of Garrett Cole, Max Fried, Luis Gil, Clark Schmidt, and Carlos Rodon. That's a pretty great rotation. I didn't even mention Nestor Cortez or Marcus Stroman. Well, I didn't mention Nestor Cortez because he was traded yesterday. As I was driving here, my phone was blowing up. Like, you got to break the news. You got to put it on Start Spreading the News. I'm like, I can't. I'm driving. The Yankees traded Nestor and second base prospect Caleb Durbin to the Milwaukee Brewers to fix another of the Yankees' big problems last year. How many games did the Yankees blow in the last few minutes? In the last few innings? How many times did we see the Yankees just crumble at the end? Well, that shouldn't happen. They got Devin Williams, also not young. He just turned 30 in September. But he is a dominant closer. Last year, again, he didn't pitch as much because he had been hurt. His ERA, though, is a nifty 1.25. He saved 14 games. His ERA plus an unheard of 3.41. The year before, 8-3, 1.53, 36 saves. The year before, 6-4, 15 saves. That's really when he was becoming the stopper. ERA plus of 2.09. Then in 2023, it was 2.31. Many people say that Devin Williams is the best closer in baseball. For me, if you can give me the best closer in baseball, I will take him every day. The fact that the Yankees gave up a prospect who, according to many, is suspect. He might be good. There's a lot of questions about Caleb Durbin and Nestor, who was a great Yankee, but I think his greatest year was already past, and he's battled injuries on and off. I think that's a no-brainer trade. I think it was a great trade for the Yankees. So, yes, I'm upset. Upset's overstating it. Disappointed the Yankees didn't get Juan Soto, but I'm very encouraged by the fact that they picked up Max Fried and Devin Williams. Very encouraged by both of those signings, a signing, and a trade. But the Yankees aren't done. That lineup last year, except for Aaron Judge and Juan Soto, had a lot of holes in it. That's if there's 9 guys in the lineup and 2 guys are hitting, that's 7 holes. Well, the Yankees lost one of those guys, Soto. So now they have 8 holes in their lineup. I have a couple of minutes, so let's just run through it. They don't have a first baseman. Their second baseman, I think, should be Jazz Chisholm, but right now it looks like he's penciled for third. I don't think a great idea. Anyway, they don't have a second baseman. Anthony Volpe is not proven to be a major league hitter at shortstop. He's good, but he's below average, and that doesn't help fill offensive holes. Jazz Chisholm, I think he'll be fine. I don't think he's great. I think a lot of people overestimate what a hitter he is. I think he'll have hot streaks like anybody else, but I don't think he's a consistently superior hitter. I think he's a nice player in the lineup, but I don't think he's great. They don't have a left fielder. They're hoping Jason Dominguez can be the center fielder. Aaron Judge, of course, is great. Giancarlo Stanton, your DH. No one knows what you're going to get from him. He's a feared hitter. He's also injured a lot. He can't run. He's one-dimensional. And then your catcher's Austin Wells. That's not a great lineup. The Yankees have a lot of work to do. They need to improve that lineup. Now, if you don't have a great lineup, it makes sense to have superior pitching. And again, the Yankees have done what they need to do to make some superior pitching. So the next few weeks, the next month or so, maybe the next month and a half as we head towards spring training should be very, very, very exciting as we try to find out what the Yankees are going to do. They have a lot of holes to patch. They have a lot of money, supposedly, since they didn't spend it on Soto, to fix those holes. And so We'll see. We'll see what the Yankees do. It will be exciting. It will be fun. And let's hope they make the right decisions and they make the Yankees of 2025 the greatest team they can. Not cutting corners, just going out and getting great talent to fill all those holes. Just a reminder that this wonderful program is brought to you by Artemisia Publishing. You can find their wonderful books at apbooks.net. Artemisia, a traditional publisher located here in the good old United States of America. They're located in New Mexico. Take a look at all of the fine books at apbooks.net. Every year, they publish multiple award-winning books. Some of those include some of the great books that I have written, including, as we get the pictures up here, 365.2, including From Compton to the Bronx, and including The Least Among Them. Also there, of course, is my wonderful novel, Scattering the Ashes, which is now an audiobook as well, published by Artemisia. My dear friends, don't forget to check out Start Spreading the News whenever you can. The great, the most wonderful Yankees site out there. We put up brand new content every single day at 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 6 a.m. I did that backwards, but that's okay. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Look for the good. Let's hope the Yankees continue to make great deals and build a team that can be a dynasty for the next 5 billion years. And all we then do on this show is talk about how the Yankees won another World Series. Wouldn't that be fun? Have a great day.